We're another location here where we have some clear cut along here. We got a bunch of different kind of ecosystems coming together right in this area. We seem to have a lot of tracks. There's a huge concentration of tracks coming right down in here right now. Actually, I got some tracks right here in my bed. Got a bobcat track over there. Be fun to catch one just to let it go, because we don't get many takes here in Wisconsin. We gotta wait like 8 years. But what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna make a trench set. Got a nice bank right here. We're right off the road. We're gonna be checking early. We don't really have to worry about that. I'm gonna start my construction out here. What I do is I go find a likely spot. I'm not really picky with trap styles a lot of times. What happens is like people get set with these picture perfect sets and everything. My set gets made into whatever it turns out to. I'm not all that particular about exactly how it's created. Sometimes my trap's sitting at an angle, sometimes my trap's sitting back, sometimes it's over. All depends. You got to work with what you have, and the site determines exactly what you're going to do. Whatever way she drops in there is what it is. I'm not one of those guys that set that, oh, it's got to be this picture perfect set or anything. I do that, just scoop it all out. Tile spade is one of the best tools I ever had for trapping. I used it a lot. Lumber down in here. What I want to do is I want to make my hole in the back, but I want that animal to have to get up in that trench to look down that hole. A lot of people, like I think like Matt Jones, the stylist, put that hole down really low and parallel. Make him get down in there. But what I want to do is I'm going to make it straight down at the bottom of that. At a slight angle where if he gets on the back, he can't look down that hole. He's got to come out to the front to look down that hole. Sometimes that's all it takes, is that he wants to see what's down that hole. It has nothing to do with anything else besides his own curiosity. I want to kill him with his curiosity. I like a deep hole. I like him to have to look. And if he wants to work it, I want him to work it hard. He's got to have to work for his meal, because he ain't getting a free one from me. Soften up where my trap bed's going to be. Got a lot of real sandy conditions here. What I have here is a Bridger trap, chain staked, inside outside lambs. And what I did, I got this tip from one of my friends. I started putting some number 3 pans on my number 2 traps. Just increases the kill area. I like it. This might be something I'm going to look into getting into a little bit further. I've already put some feelers out there for number 3 pans. We'll see if those come through or not. Even in the sandy conditions, those super stakes hold excellent. See how big that pan is on there. That really looks nice. Dig a little hole for my chain setup to go into. Cover it up and let it go back. So you know this trap's gonna go in there at an angle. I don't care. It goes there any way it goes in there. All my traps are night latched. Some guys short latch. Some guys don't do anything. Some guys use pit pans. Don't make a difference to me. Use whatever you want to use. It just seems to work good for me. I use a little paintbrush to get underneath the pan. I don't want to leave any possibilities of something getting underneath there. It's just a little insurance I do. Everybody doesn't have to do it. I use wax paper with my pan cover. Some guys use polyfill. Some guys put all sorts of things on it. I don't really know. I just know I keep coming back to wax paper because it seems to work. It's the easiest to work with. Put a little slot for your dog. Put her on there. You throw a little bit on there. Hold her in place. I find my pan. I do everything with my loose jaw flipped up. That's a big kill area there. Most important part about this whole procedure with bedding a trap is for it to be solid. Baby's locked in there tight, but what you want to do is you want to clean off your levers. Where your jaw makes contact with your lever, when you flip that baby over, it's going to cantilever on there. It's going to pop that other jaw out. You put that baby in there like that. That trap is rock solid. I pack around my jaws. Clean off my pan area. Sift her back over. Clean a little bit of stuff that's down in that hole out of there. The animal wants to come in here. He wants to look down that hole. He's got to step down into that trench door to get it. It's very effective. Kind of guides his foot to where you want it to be. Sometimes when you have a regular dirt hole, it's open for interpretation. I mean, that animal can come in, he can work from this side, work from that side. This forces him to get down in there in order to work that. I had a feeling we'll be picking up an animal here tomorrow. That's it. It don't take much. It's just basics. A couple tools I use. Use a 3-pound maul. Leaf spring welded onto it. I put a bolt through the handle of it. When I'm trapping in snow conditions, that bolt gives me a stop. I was sick of losing my hammer. I hit myself in the knee one time because it slid out of my hand, and I tell you what, you don't want that to happen very often because that baby hurts. So I put a bolt on there that stops my hand from ever sliding off, and I can swing that thing all over. I don't know if I mentioned the Badger or not. It's the best trawl out there. I went through, I don't know how many trawls I went through. So we'll see how she works out, and what I'm going to do here is how I bait mine. I go around the back side, bait it. GH3, but Slim's GH3 has really been kicking the crap out of the dogs up here. I don't know, it's top-notch lure. I use sheep's wool. I don't lure with my hands or with my gloves on. I want to keep those as clean as I can. Jason at DCTM makes these little lure applicators. I think actually Mark June's selling them now too for them. Put that baby down there. I'll carry that with me. I keep all my baits separate. I never put any of my baits in my bag. I want to keep that as scent free as I can. I don't want to cross-contaminate anything. I don't like to leave excuses for people. I don't like to have an excuse why my stuff's not working. I always made excuses before in the past when I wasn't connecting. I like to take all the equation, everything out of the equation. So when I know when I put something in the ground, it's 100% and it's working. When people start coming up with excuses, they say, oh, my trap's got cross-contamination, oh, I got a digger because of this, I got a digger because of that, oh, it's because of this. I don't want to use excuses. When something goes wrong, it's my fault. It's not my equipment's fault. Just the way it works. So I don't know. We'll move on down the line, throw a couple more sets in.